Hey everyone, I'm Dolly and I'm here to talk about sleep and impaired fasting glucose. So, the assessment of sleep duration associated with incident impaired fasting glucose. Metabolic homeostasis requires sleep that is a restorative process, and sleep is required for a normal functioning homeostatic system. Many observational epidemiologic studies have shown results that insufficient sleep is associated with hypertension, obesity, coronary heart disease, and overall higher mortality rates. Other studies show that 1,100 men ages 40 to 70 years old showed a higher risk for developing type 2 diabetes compared to men who slept 7 hours a night. The participants who slept 6 hours showed a relative risk of developing type 2 diabetes. In a 10-year follow up of another study, females ages 30 to 55 developed type 2 diabetes with longer sleeping habits, such as sleeping 9 hours or more. Females who slept a shorter amount of hours did not develop type 2 diabetes. So the research questions here come from the current study, which is from the Western New York Health Study, which assesses whether time of sleep impacted incident impaired fasting glucose over a 6-year period. Whether the risk for several types of diabetes were associated with short and or long sleepers in both men and women were also assessed. And they looked at diabetes risk factors, insulin resistance, and other potential confounding variables as well. The research methods included a case controlled study, and they also included alcohol consumption and coronary heart disease assessments. Participants resided in 2 different counties in New York from 1996 to 2001, and 1,455 participants fully completed this study, both males and females ages 35 to 79 years old. Physical activity, sleep time were both measured via the Stanford 7-day physical activity recall questionnaire. Sleep duration counted as 6 hours for the short hours, and then long hours counted as 8 hours. Depression was also assessed, and type 2 diabetes for family history was assessed, and the homeostasis model assessment insulin resistance was also taken into consideration. The research methods and analysis also included individuals with IFG were defined as having less than 100 milligrams at baseline and 100 and 125 milligrams at the follow-up. All controls displayed normal glycemia at 100 milligrams. Fasting glucose concentrations were analyzed by glucose oxidase method. Data was compared between other IFG studies, matched control subjects, chi-square, analysis of variance, and unpaired t-tests. Multivariable logistic regression analysis was used for odds ratio, and SPSS was used to analyze significant levels. The results came in that IFG cases were significantly found in the older population, 58 years versus 54 years, larger abdominal height and BMI. The mean fasting glucose and mean fasting insulin was higher among cases than controls, and a positive family history of type 2 diabetes, smoking, and hypertension were higher than the controls. Age was significantly different in sleep durations, such as short sleepers tended to be younger and long sleepers tended to be older. There were no significant differences between BMI, abdominal height, weight, insulin, and fasting glucose concentration, and physical activity. Among the short sleepers, sleep and IFG was not significant and did not change with long sleepers. So the take-home message is that basically sleeping less time equals significant association with higher potential for developing IFG. Overall, short and long sleep times have shown to increase risk of disordered glucose metabolism in other studies as well. Findings may not be generalized due to its restricted population and lack of racial diversity. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know.